ויקחו מתרומה
מדליקים בשמן שרפה ביום טוב, ריבי ישמעאל אומר, אין מדליקים בית אחד מפני כבוד השבת.
Hi everyone, we're so happy to see you. I mean, we wish we could see you, but at least we're here and we can see you. You know what I mean? What can I say? This wasn't quite how we planned it, but we tried to make it as monumental as the day that Izzy's bar mitzvah is, and as connecting with all of you as possible, because we really miss you all. These haven't been easy days, but we're really trying hard to make the very, very best of it. The first, really happy to be here with all the grandparents, Nono and Saba and Sapta and Safti, who we miss terribly, who we haven't seen. I mean, we've seen Nono, but we haven't seen any of the other grandparents for more than a year. So really happy that they're with us. And then some of my aunts and uncles and Moshe's aunts and uncles and cousins are with us. And our siblings and their children are with us. And friends from all across the world are with us. And we're thrilled. I mean, I wonder, would we really have had this many people if we would have just done it in Venice? I mean, that could have just been boring. We're also really excited to welcome lots of families here from our very, very special school. Our school has really is developing into a wonderful community with children from across the world in 11 countries, and really, really excited to have everyone here with us tonight. So the first person I want to introduce in our evening is Rav Johnny. Rav Johnny is the Rav of the school, and he's also Izzy's Rebbe. He learns with Izzy every week. And Rav Johnny's very, very special, and we're very, very lucky to have him here with us. And Rav Johnny has a shir on tonight, so we're going to ask him to go first on the program and ask him to address the Bar Mitzvah boy. So, bevakasha, Rav Johnny.
Erev Tov lekulam. Good evening to everyone. I hope you can hear me well. And Mazal Tov to the family, Mazal Tov to Tal, Moshe, to the grandparents, and of course, most significantly, to the Bar Mitzvah, to Yisachar, to Izzy, on the wonderful event of his Bar Mitzvah. It's a really, really special event, a great privilege to be here, a great privilege to share a few words on this great simcha, the simcha of Izzy becoming Bar Mitzvah, of celebrating the moment when he now carries the mitzvot. He's now responsible to fulfill all the deeds given to us in the Torah. He is now a full, responsible Eved Hashem. And I want to just simply say a few words relating to the parasha, which I hope is relevant to this moment. Izzy read his parasha a few weeks ago in Parashat Truma. And this Shabbat we read the end of Sefer Shemot Parshiot V'Yakel Pekudei. And that means that journey from his beginning of the reading of Parashat Truma till this weekend of V'Yakel Pekudei describes the building, the construction of the Mishkan. This period of weeks from Truma Tetzaveh Ki Tisa V'Yakel Pekudei describes to us the building of the tabernacle, that great center of meeting of God in the wilderness, which then became really the blueprint of the Bet HaMikdash that was then in Jerusalem. And why is that significant? Because what is a Bar Mitzvah if not a celebration of the building of a person? It's a celebration of the building of a young man, of not a binyan but of a ben, who, through the efforts and the labor of family and of friends, has grown, has become somebody of responsibility, which is such a wonderful thing. We read something very beautiful in this week's parasha, in Parashiot V'Yakel Pekudei, where when the Mishkan is complete, we're told, V'yar Moshe et kol ha-malacha, v'yavarech otam Moshe. Moshe saw how the Mishkan had been complete, and Moshe blessed the work. And what was Moshe's blessing? Yehi ratzon shetishreh shechina b'maaseh yedechem. May it be God's will that He rests His Spirit upon the labor of your hands. And those words of Moshe, that blessing, is the most perfect of blessing to every family, and the most perfect of blessings to Issy as a bar mitzvah. Yehi ratzon shetishreh shechina b'maaseh yedechem. Both in terms of Moshe and Tali, may it be that God rests His hands on the work of your labor in building up Issy. And Issy, may it be God's will that God rests His presence on everything that you do. However, a binyan, a building, is only part of what a person is. As Rav Volbe notes, there are two dimensions of chinuch. One is called binyan, building. One is called zri'at tzmicha, natural organic growth. You've been built in so many beautiful ways through your education, through your fine family. But ultimately, there needs to be a fusion of the binyan and the zri'ah and the tzmicha. You two need to grow. And as Chazal say, what do we have to grow vegetation? What is the ideal medium to help us grow itself? En mayim el Torah. Just as we have water that grows vegetation, so too water represents a Torah that helps us grow. I have the privilege of learning Torah with Issy, and through our learning together, he is growing. He is growing both in terms of his physical binyan, but also in terms of that organic growth of a Torah personality of a fine young man. And as such, based both on his physical development and his spiritual development and emotional development, we return back to the words of Chazal explaining the blessing of Moshe. Yehi ratzon, may it be God's will, tishreh shechina b'maaseh yedechem. That God rests His presence on everything that you do. You should be a nachas, you should give pride to your parents, to your grandparents, to your friends, to your family, to your community, to Am Yisrael Kula. You should be a portable tabernacle of Torah learning and of good deeds wherever you go. The people see you and they meet you and they say, this is a fine young man from a fine family who does good in the world, who burns brightly in terms of the light he brings to the world. May you continue to shine bright. Bracha b'atzlacha, mazal tov.
You can see it on the map.
No, it went away.
This is my phone.
Thanks, Rob Johnny. Okay. So I think we lost Rob Johnny in the transfusion. Okay. Well, thank you, Rob Johnny. I'm very emotional to hear you have this wonderful relationship with Issy. I remember the years when I was so worried about the children's education, and now that we have this wonderful school, I feel so reassured that at least we're providing them with the proper education that they need. So thank you very much to Rob Johnny. He's a wonderful, wonderful role model and Rebbe for Issy. So let's see. We wanted to take you through a little bit the weekend, because if you would have been here, this is what you would have missed. But first, I think we need a good dance that's going to make our hearts pump. And I'm going to invite Ariella, who is also Issy's violin teacher, to give us a couple of tunes. And we're going to have a good dance. I hope you're going to join us. Ariella.
Hi, everybody. Who's ready to dance?
All right, I need everybody to get up on their feet, wherever you are in the world, right now. Let's do some music.
Turn on the discos. Oh,
ריבון העולמים, מצאתי שתי מילים שיהודים אומרים בכל מקום, על מה שכבר היה, מה שעוד לא קרה, לא משנה כי זה תמיד יהיה נכון. מודים אנחנו לא בכל יום, ומהללים למרום, ישתבח שמו על כל מה שברה לי, על כל מה שקרה לי, ישתבח שמו על רגעים של אושר, על עומד בו ישתבח שמו ביחד לעד לעולם, ישתבח שמו, ישתבח שמו. ריבון העולמים, מצאתי שתי מילים שיהודים אומרים בכל מקום, על מה שכבר היה, מה שעוד לא קרה, לא משנה כי זה תמיד יהיה נכון. מודים אנחנו לא בכל יום, ומהללים למרום, ישתבח שמו על כל מה שקרה לי, על כל מה שקרה לי, ישתבח שמו על רגעים של אושר, על העומד בתוך החושך, ישתבח שמו ביחד לעד לעולם, ישתבח שמו. כל מה שנתן לי, ישתבח שמו על רגעים של אושר, על אור בתוך החושך, ישתבח שמו על כל מה שברא לי, על כל מה שקרה לי, ישתבח שמו על רגעים של אושר, על אור בתוך החושך, ישתבח שמו.
Should we do one more? Should we do one more before we all sit down?
no, say
Yeah? All right, let's do it.
mic.
Oh, that was so good. Got my blood pumping. That was just awesome. I feel like we're all really partying it up here. Woo! So we thought we would just take you through a little bit what you missed. And so when we started planning Izzy for his bar mitzvah, we were very excited, and we really wanted him to learn everything in the Venetian minhag, because that is what is local here. And so in the Venetian minhag, the bar mitzvah boy usually davens Arvit and Kabbalat Shabbat for the first time, and then obviously he reads his parashah the next day. And so that's what Izzy did, and we're going to play you a couple of minutes of what Kabbalat Shabbat looked like in an old Venetian shul. And it was quite amazing. And then, you know, what we would have done is gone to dinner with all of you, but we actually came home here and we had dinner, just the 5 of us. And it was lovely and intimate, and we were very excited, and we went to bed early because obviously Shabbat Parashat Truma was a very, very big day. So, so Edward, do you want to play the Kabbalat Shabbat?
מדליקים בשמן שרפה ביום טוב, ריבי ישמעאל אומר, אין מדליקים בית אחד מפני כבוד השבת, והחכמים מתירים בכל השמנים, בשמן שולשמים, בשמן אגוזים, בשמן צנונות, בשמן דגים, בשמן פקועות, ביתרן ונפט, ריבי טרפון אומר, אין מדליקים אלא בשמן זית בלבד. היוצא מן העץ אין מדליקים בו אלא פשתן, וכל היוצא מן העץ אינו מתעמק בתועלים אלא פשתן, ותירת הבגד שקיפלה ולא ירבה, ליבי אליעזר אומר תמאי, ואין מדליקים בה, רבי עקיבא אומר תוראי, ומדליקים בה לא יקור אדם שבוברת של ביצה וימלא שמן ותנן על פי הנר בשביל שזה מנתבת ואפילו איש של חרס וליבי יהודה מתיר רבה הלכם אל היוצא מתפילה מותר מפני שהוא כלי אחד לא ימלא אדם קנה שמן וייתן הנה בצד הנר ויתן ראש הפתילה בתוך הביטוי שתהיה מכבה את הנר מפני שהוא מתיירא, מפני גויים, מפני ליסטים, מפני רוח רע, מפני חולה שישן. פטור ככעס על הנר, ככעס על השמן, ככעס על הפתילה חייב, ורבי יוסף פותר בכולן חוץ מן הפתילה, מפני שהוא עושה פחם. על 3 עבירות נשים מתות בשדליתן, על שאינן זהירות בנידה ובחלה, ובהדלקת הנר 3 דברים צריך אדם לומר בתוך ביתו ערב שבת עם חשיכה יסרתם ערבתם, הדליקו את הנר ספק חשיכה ספק אינה חשיכה, אין מעשירין את הוודאי, אין מפעילין את הכלים ואין מדליקין את הנרות, אבל מעשירין את הדמאי ומערבין וטומנין את החמים. אמר רבי אלעזר, אמר רבי חנינא, תלמידי חכמים מרבים שלום בעולם שנאמר, וכל בנייך לימודי אדוני, ורב שלום בנייך, אל תקרא בנייך אלא בנייך, כי שלום בחילך שלווה בארמנותייך, למנחי ורעי ידברנה שלום בך, למען בית אדוני אלוהינו, רק שטוב לך. שלום על ישראל, שלום רב, יאהב את תורתך ולעמו מכשול, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
And that is truly how it was. Very emotional. Now, traditionally at Friday night dinner, I think we would have asked the grandparents to speak. And so we asked them to speak tonight, and we give them a couple minutes to make their addresses to the bar mitzvah boy.
Ciao, Issachar Mendel. Io ti volevo chiamare da qualche giorni fa perché ho sentito che Shabbat tu hai letto tutta la parasha di Shabbat. Poi ho sentito che tu hai fatto tutto Tafilà Sharit של Shabbat. Veramente sono contento, sono felice perché a questa età tu sei capace di leggere una parasha completa al Bet HaKnesset e leggere Sharit al Bet HaKnesset. Io spero in seguito che Hashem mi dà possibilità che leggi tutto Tafilot. Hazak Baruch, bravo, bravo, bravissimo, mio caro nipote Issy Bassali.
Odud Hashem Kitov Kidolam Chasdo. What a great simcha it is for the grandparents to have a bar mitzvah from their grandson, Issy. Issachar Mendel, what a beautiful name he has. Nice Jewish name. Wanted to wish him Be'ezrat Hashem that he should be Matzliach B'kol Mikol Kol, and that he should go on to become a great Talmid Chacham and a mensch like his father, and hopefully Be'ezrat Hashem the other son will follow up. I want just to say a little story about my son Mordechai. When he was born at the Sudat Mitzvah, my Rosh Yeshiva that gave the main speech said that Mordechai should become Rosh Yeshiva and that his father should keep the yeshiva going for him. Well, it didn't happen. Well, I'm wishing that on Issachar Mendel Be'ezrat Hashem to follow up in his father's name, who went to Mir Yeshiva. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.
My dearest darling Issy, better known to all of us as Is. Oh, how I desperately wanted to come to Venice for your bar mitzvah, but alas, it was not to be. So now I have missed the bar mitzvahs of 2 of my grandchildren, 2 of my grandsons, but as you know, it is not we who decide these things, it is the Ribbono Shel Olam. Is, when you were 3, your parents wanted your halakha to take on special meaning. And so, when they cut your hair, they also rededicated an antique Sefer Torah from the Venetian community. On the Shabbat of your bar mitzvah, you read from that very same Sefer Torah. What a zchut. I can only imagine you standing in the magnificent Spanish shul in Venice, reading from an ancient scroll. I am sure that it was truly amazing. I am sure that you were amazing. Maybe when Safta comes to Venice again next time, you'll be able to do a rerun for me. You were born just before Purim, and so your Parshat Truma, coincides with Parshat Zachor. it is written, Zachor et asher asa lacha Amalek b'derech b'tzetchem mimitzrayim. Remember what Amalek did to you on your way out of Egypt. On the Shabbat that precedes Purim, 2 Torah scrolls are taken from the Aron, one for the regular parasha and one for the maftir. Remember what Amalek did to you, it is said. And because of this reading, it is called Shabbat Zachor. There is a mitzvah in the Torah to remember Amalek and to tell our children in each generation what the people of Amalek did to us during the departure from Egypt. The mitzvah will only really be complete when we have caused Amalek's memory to be erased from the world. As the Torah says, remember what Amalek did to you on your departure from Egypt. And Chazal say you have to remember by speaking about it with your mouth, orally, and spreading the word. And you should also never forget in your heart. To fulfill this mitzvah properly, the Chachamim have told us to read this passage from a Torah scroll once every year on the Shabbat which precedes Purim, so that the wiping out of Amalek might be next to the wiping out of also Haman, who was a descendant of Amalek. Issy, darling, you were born here in Eretz Yisrael, and your Brit was also here, in our home. And after that, you were whisked away to your home in Venice, where you have grown into a fine and handsome young man. Being a God-fearing Jew outside of Eretz Yisrael is not always so easy. We know. Especially when you live in a small community. There are many difficulties to be overcome. For example, there is no Jewish school in Venice, and you have to go to a public school where there are only maybe 1 or 2 Jewish children. And yet, you go every day wearing your kippah proudly and your tzitzit, and it would never occur to you not to do that. Very little Jewish education is available in Venice. And so your amazing mum started a Jewish school online so that you could learn Limudei Kodesh with teachers living in Israel. How amazing is that? Baruch Hashem, you and your sister Ella have thrived. And now I hear that Netanel too has started learning online, which is really amazing. Issy, my sweetheart, I will just end by saying that I want you to remember something else. Remember always who you are. Remember that you are part of Am Yisrael. Remember who your parents are, and maybe even your grandparents. Such a shame that your grandmother passed away only a few weeks ago and was not able to be part of this simcha. Remember also the responsibilities that are involved in being part of Am Yisrael. Always remember also that I love you, my darling. I miss you so much, and I can't wait to see you all. Now I've got a little surprise for you. There's somebody else here who wants to say Mazal Tov, and I'm going to turn the computer around.
You said what's your name?
Yes, Issy. Issy. Say hello, Issy.
Hello, Issy.
Mazal Tov. Mazal
Mazal tov, Issy, Mazal tov. I love you. Mazal tov, I love you. I love to be here for you. I love to see you, darling.
So we both say Mazal Tov and send you lots of love to you and all the family. God bless you, my darling.
God bless you. God bless you. God
Send him a
bless
kiss,
you.
Mum. Send him a kiss.
So yeah, we miss everybody very much. And Safti, who doesn't like technology, couldn't record anything for us today, but we are sure that she's watching and we know that she loves us and we love all of you and miss you all very, very much. So Shabbat morning, we got up. You want to tell about your Shabbat morning? Oh, and yes, Safti made him the fabulous waistcoat that Issy is wearing tonight. And he also read his parasha in a similar one that was in pink, which was lovely. Safti and Bibi and Safta and Saba and Nono, you're always with us. And Nona as well. Yeah, 100%. So we just thought we'd tell you a little bit about Shabbat morning. So we got up early and we got dressed and we went to shul. It was all very exciting. And the shul was very, very cold because the Spanish synagogue doesn't have any heating and we don't usually use it in the winter. And we had to have the windows open as per protocol for COVID-19. Lots of spaces in between everyone. So it was freezing cold and everyone had their masks and everything was very organized. And Issy got up to Lane and he was pretty amazing with his puppy. But the rabbi was in quarantine, so there was no rabbi. And it was really, really nice to be able to honor the people that were important to us and give them aliyot Torah. And in the Venetian minhag, there is like a little bit of a kind of ritual that they do. There's a few psukim that the bar mitzvah boy has to read and in front of the Aron HaKodesh. So Issy read the psukim. And there's a certain point where usually the Rav comes and gives him a beracha. But because there was no Rav, Moshe was able to give him the bracha. How was that for you, honey? You have words? Are you going to speak at all?
Yes. First of all, L'chaim, everybody, L'chaim. Thank you for joining us in this evening. We are very happy that we can share this simcha with everybody all around the world. And L'chaim, L'chaim. Was very much, lots of emotions were involved in this last year, let's say, since Issy started preparing for his bar mitzvah. I would like to say that I was not involved at all in the preparation of his bar mitzvah. He learned everything with his Rabbi Akiva, that lives now in Eretz Israel, who was previously a Chazan here in Venice. And lots of things happened in the last month, the last couple of months. Issy prepared his Kabbalat Shabbat, and he read beautifully Kabbalat Shabbat and all the Arvit in the synagogue. Would like to say that we were not able to use any one of the synagogues in the last year, except on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. I don't know about Sukkot because Sukkot we were not here. And
We were happy that we were able
and
to.
Also in these few weeks, Shabbatot, we are davening in a little hall that has big windows and it's open to a garden, which basically is very cold, but Shabbat we are allowed to be like 18 men and 6 women. That's all the maximum allowance. So we were able, Baruch Hashem, even we had all these restrictions, to open the main Spanish synagogue, which is the biggest synagogue in Venezia and Venice. And as Tali said, 10 years ago exactly, we managed, actually we started this project 11 years ago, one of the oldest Sifrei Torah that was out of use because was not kasher but was a magnificent Sefer Torah and very dear Sefer Torah because it was written on gvil and very, very big pieces of parchment, which meant the family that gave it to the Keilah about 400 years ago, it was from the 1600s, was a very wealthy family. And this was connected also to this Parashat HaShavua. The first parasha, the whole parasha that was read from this Sefer Torah, after this Sefer Torah was found by us in a storage of the Kehillah, and we asked to restore it, the first entire parasha was Parashat Truma, and was read by Issachar Mendel, and this Sefer Torah was dedicated in the memory, of course, of the family of the Nedivei Libam, that they gave this big Truma, like Issachar read the Parashat Truma, this big Truma to the Keilah 400 years ago. In their memory, Issachar Mendel managed to read the whole parasha, and was a great emotion for all of us to read this parasha, to hear this parasha, the first parasha that was read since the Sefer Torah was restored, because few other pieces have been read during these years. The Sefer Torah was in use, but were like קריאה לתענית ציבור, או אולי ראש חודש, but not a whole entire parasha. And also, we had this Shabbat that he read the parasha was Shabbat Zachor. And strangely, coincidence was also the Shloshim of my mother, was exactly the Shloshim of my mother. And these whole things were connected all together. And at the end of the tefillah, like Tali said, there is a ritual that a bar mitzvah boy that enters the Keilah reads by the Hechal, and I had to give him the bracha that we give in Venezia, and I would like to give him back this bracha again tonight.
Oh.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך. יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. ושמו שמי על בני ישראל ואני אברכם. So I wish Issachar Mendel will have בעזרת השם דרך of אבותיו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, and he will follow all these דרכים של אבותינו, and he will be חזק בלימוד התורה, כמו שכתוב, יששכר חמור גרם, because he will have all the Torah on his back, and all his life he will have all the Torah, like the Sefer Torah that was dedicated on his of Shenish, and he read from him, and he will learn and learn and learn, and מחיל אל חיל, בעזרת השם, יעלה ויצליח, אמן כן יהי רצון.
And we're very, very grateful to our Kehillah for making this possible for us to have the privilege of restoring the Sefer Torah.
And using the synagogue.
And using the synagogue during COVID-19. Another big thank you goes out to Chabad of Venice, which at the moment has just 2 Bachurim, but have been absolutely incredible with supporting us during the Bar Mitzvah and making sure that we're always in good atmosphere. And they came with us for the Hanachat Tefillin, which Issy did a couple of weeks back with his grandfather in Milano. And it really, really was amazing. And the week of Issy's Tefillin was like a whole week of celebration. Sunday was the Tefillin, and then I think Wednesday was his Hebrew birthday, and the Bachurim in the yeshiva threw him a beautiful party. And then Thursday was his first aliyah as a bar mitzvah boy. So we filmed that for you, so you could get a little taste of what Issy's Torah reading is like. Take a look.
יום מלא, עד הסוף.
שואלים לדוד אלינו מי אתם מונות לעשות?
כהן קרב יעמוד, אין כאן כהן יעמוד, חתן עבר מצווה, בחור אדם מסחר, מנדל בן הרב מוישה, ישראל במקום כהן, ברוך שנעשתם עם ישראל בקדושו סוד. ואתם עתיקים אדוני חיים כולכם היום.
השם
ברכו את אדוני
בואו נעלם
ברוך את אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך את אדוני נותן התורה. וידבר אדוני משה לאמור, דבר את בני ישראל ויקחו לי תרומה מאת כל איש אשר ידבנו ליבו, תיקחו את תרומתי וזאת התרומה אשר תיקחו מאיתם, זהב וכסף ונחושת ותכלת וארגמן ותולד שני ושש עזים ואורות אלים מאוד דמים ואורות תחשים ועצי שיטים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וכל העולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן. סימן טוב ומזל טוב.
כאן כיסאות. ילנו סימן טוב ומזל טוב ומזל טוב וסימן טוב, סימן טוב ומזל טוב ומזל טוב וסימן טוב. ילנו ילנו ולכל ישראל ילנו דוד מלך ישראל חי וקיים, דוד מלך ישראל חי.
ברוך שפטרני מעונשו של זה.
אמן. זה ברכה.
יעמוד אברהם בן ציון שני. Guarda il segno dove ti sei fermato. שמן למאור fino a וכן תעשו.
שיטים, רואה? שמן למאור?
שמן למאור וכן תעשו.
ברוך הוא אדינו ים ברוך אלוהינו מלך העולם משובח אבל מכל העמים ונשאנו נסתר הסייף וכתו אדינו נס נתירו.
שמן למאור בסמים לשמן המשחה ולקטור את הסמים, אבני שוהם ואבני מילואים לאפוד ולחושן, ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם ככל אשר אני מראותך, את תבנית המשכן ואת תבנית כל כליו וכן תעשו.
ברוך אתה אדינו אלוהינו מלך העולם ושנשאנו תורה שמזבחנו ותפסחנו. ברוך אתה אדינו נס נתירו.
עמוד הרב משה בן ציון שלישי.
שלום לבן דודים.
קיבלנו גם שני עליות. איזה יפה. לעשו ארון. פינו? פינו, אדוני מחמנו
לך השם, בואו אלוהים בחרם בואי.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן.
ועשו ארון עצי שיטים 2.5 אורכו ו1.5 רוחבו ו1.5 קומתו, וציפית אותו זהב טהור מבית ומחוץ תצפנו, ועשית עליו זר זהב סביב ויצקת לו 4 טבעות זהב ונתת על 4 פעמותיו ושתי טבעות על צלו האחד ושתי טבעות על צלו השנית, ועשית בדי עצי שיטים וציפית אותם זהב, והבאת את הבדים בטבעות על צלות הארון, לשאת את הארון בהם. בטבעות הארון יהיו הבדים, לא יסורו ממנו. ונתת אל הארון את העדות אשר אתן אליך.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו לכל העולם שנתן לנו את תורתו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. אמן. יתגדל ויתקדש שמך רבה. אמן. עמדי ברכילותך וימליך מלכותך ויצמח ורכנה ויקרב משך. אמן. וחייכון ובמכון חי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. אמן. ושתבח ויתבהר את אומה מנשא ואת הדר ואת הלב ואת הלל שמד וקודשה בריחו. אמן. אמרחם על כל בריאותיו ויחוז ויחמול וירחם על לב ששעה כבודה.
Okay, so I didn't want you to feel like you missed anything. So this was our way of sharing the experiences with you. Of course, after Shul on Shabbat, we were not able to have Kiddush, but we sent everyone home with a box, with a Kiddush box, and a recently translated article about having Jewish grandchildren written by Rabbi Sachs has been recently translated into Italian. Unfortunately, we couldn't be more together than just in Shul, but we are very grateful that we could be in Shul for this important day. But of course, the Bar Mitzvah boy made a speech, and he's going to tell it to you now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having come to our little after Bar Mitzvah party. My parasha is Parashat Terumah, or when the Jews made many donations to the Mishkan. That was a temporary temple in the middle of the desert. But this year my parasha also fell on Parashat Zachor. That is the parasha that recalls the times when a powerful leader named Amalek wanted to destroy the people of Israel. Returning to Terumah, the parasha not only speaks of the many donations made by the Jews, but also of the construction of the Mishkan in great detail, from larger objects such as the parizat to smaller objects such as the trays for sacred bread. The question, however, which I would like to consider in this Dvar Torah, is the connection between Parashat Terumah, the story told in Parashat Zachor, and the idea of me that I celebrated my Bar Mitzvah. When Bnei Israel left Mitzrayim, there were people who needed to grow in a nation. And at that point, Amalek came and tried to destroy them. Amalek represents those who wish to harm spiritual growth. Amalek represents destruction. But rather than destruction, God wants people to build themselves and also as a nation. That's why 50 days after they left the Egypt, he gave them the Torah. Soon after, God instructed people to build a house, the Mishkan, so that he could be among them and represent to every Jew that God is in each of them. And so the Mishkan represents the building of the sanctification of God, and Amalek represents destruction. Our rabbis explain that each part of the Mishkan was important, and according to the Midrash, each part of the Mishkan symbolized a part of the human being. For example, the gold of the Mishkan represented the soul, the silver represented the body, the copper in the Mishkan represented the voice, the blue colors represented the veins, the purple colors represented the flea, and the red elements in the Mishkan represented the blood. Just as the Mishkan was made up of each of these elements and colors, I am made of different physical and spiritual elements. Just as the Mishkan was built by the people of the desert, Rabbi Elazar Askari writes, "Belibi Mishkan Evneh." Each of us has a Mishkan which is built in our heart, and I am so grateful to my parents for teaching me the values of being a Jew, so that in my heart there is a Mishkan. My mom always reminded me that my great-grandfather Issachar Mendel from who I take my name, was already in the Hassad concentration camp during his bar mitzvah. He was the bullet maker for the Nazis, and for this I feel very privileged to have my tefillin and my talit. I'm also very excited because since I was a child, I have been waiting for this moment, and I have always thought it was a border that I would have not crossed. It seemed too far to be reality, but now I'm sure that I will pass it. I would like to remember my grandmother, Miriam Bat Yoel, Zichronah Livracha. She was the best cook in the family. I would like to thank my father, my mother, my grandparents, and all my family. All those who have supported my education over the years. At my online Hebrew school, Zehut, where I learned to read Hebrew, and where I follow my formal studies of Torah, Mishnah, and Gemara, to my Rebbe of Johnny Solomon, Joseph Salvadori, Rav Tuito, Rav Dayan, my Morim Akiva, Shalom Ber, and the Morot Anat, Tali, and Donatella of the Jewish Asilo in Venice, and all the Morot of the Jewish Asilo of Lubavitch, where I learned to speak Hebrew, and to all the friends. Thank you all, and I also would like to make another special thanks to my Rabbi Rav Johnny Solomon, who helped me to make this very nice speech. Thank you all.
Very, very nice. Okay, I think Uncle Maud is going to play us something on his guitar that we can sing along.
Mazal tov, Issy Mendel.
Mazal tov.
We love you all.
Love you.
Mazal Tov, Issy. Mazal Tov, Issy. We love you.
Love you a lot, a lot, a lot.
Everybody wanted to contribute something to this beautiful evening, and we feel so lucky. And Ella decided she wanted to put together a short collage of some of her memories the last year. She said to me, Mummy, Izzy and I, we've been together for 10 years, right? I'm like, yeah, but then there was Teddy, right? So take it away, Ed. Pull up Ella's collage. Yeah, good job, Ella. We love that. That was great. We do. So now we're going to do an old tradition that is very common in British events. And we know we're not so British anymore, just the part of me is British. But we thought it would be entertaining if we could teach Izzy how to do the toast for the state of Israel. So stand up, Izzy. Stand up, Izzy. Take your wine glass and say to everyone, raise your glasses, everyone.
Raise your glasses, everyone.
And drink a toast.
And drink a toast.
To the state of Israel.
To the state of Israel.
Which we hope we're going to see really, really soon.
Which we hope we're going to see really, really soon.
L'chaim to everyone.
L'chaim to everyone.
Don't go away. We're going to do a dance with Ariella, and then the bar mitzvah boy is going to show us two of his very, very most special magic.
They're not the most special.
But they're close. Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Did everybody hear me?
השתגענו מודים, שותים כרוקדים. דורש קצב מזרחי, דורש קצב מזרחי, דורש קצב מזרחי, All the party people, let me see you move. All the party people, let me see you move. מהפכה של שמחה, כי כולנו משפחה, ונרקוד בטירוף, הגיע הזמן לעוף, מעכשיו רק שמחה, משקיעה ועד פריחה, השתגענו מודים, אם שומעים כמודים.
Go Izzy, go Izzy, go, go.
Yeah! Woo! Oh, seriously? Okay. So we have Izzy. Izzy, come on. Who is going to us two of his great magic tricks. This is like serious James Bond kind of stuff. Are you ready, Ted? Vincent?
I hope they come good. I would have liked to call my
Assistant.
no, my Moray of magic tricks, but as I've been informed from my mom, you needed a special link for speaking. So never mind. So I'm gonna start with one thing. So you need to come and say stop.
Okay, yes, I will say stop. Very good.
So
Teddy, go for that.
I'm gonna start with one very classic trick. Very classic trick that I've learned from my mother. Take a deck of cards. Okay, Mandy. Now you need to choose one.
Yep.
Just one.
I will choose one.
Okay?
Yeah, what do I do with it now?
You show it to the people, but not to me. You see?
Yeah.
Okay, now you put it wherever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now look. I close it. I mix it until my heart is content. Now, I just click my hands, and automatically, your card will be the first one.
Whoa.
So that was the first message.
Love to hear your comments on this one, guys. Put them up, Edward. Put them up. Okay, what do we have next?
Let's see. I need to ask my friends. What should I do? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take this deck of cards. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, oh yeah. So now you need to tell me stop.
Okay.
Stop. Take your card.
Mm-hmm. I show it to the people?
Yes, with my team.
Of course. Okay. And now?
Ooh, actually, can I show them also now?
No.
One.
Because of no. People want to go to bed. Have a lovely time.
Your card.
I've got my card, yes.
Yes. Just put it down here.
Anyway? Okay.
Now your card.
Yeah.
Is quite 10 of hearts.
Oh, yes, it is. All boy. Way to go to magician, James Bond, Sacramento, yeah! Thank you very, very much to everybody. So for the last segment of the evening, I want to call upon a couple of well-wishers to give the bar mitzvah boy to say a couple of words. This is the cousin segment. So I think it was Yoav, and then it was Eden, and then it was Raphael who wanted to say a very short message to Izzy. And then, and yeah, okay, go ahead, guys. Coming on, are they here? What? Oh, I can't hear them. You have to open your mic. I can't hear you guys. That's right.
Gosh.
Ed, do you want to play that? There's one well wishes video. You can play that till they get themselves together.
Yes, Moshe, next year we're coming skiing and we're having a big party. Bobo will pay for it, don't worry. We'll all meet in Canazay. Big party. We're missing you. We love you. Okay, Barry.
So sorry. Guys, we love you guys. Right, are the cousins together? Do we have it together, people? Annie Neats, we can't hear you. Annie Lana, we don't see you, nor do we see Uncle Maud.
Mazel tov! Mazel tov! It's indeed. We love you.
I'm trying to make them hear.
We love you, Issy. Mazel tov. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you too. We're only down the road, but not really down the road. Where's Ilana?
Bye.
We're only down the road, but not really down the road. Oh, it's your movie.
רצינו להגיד, נכון, סטייל שאנחנו לא איתך, ומזל טוב.
תודה.
We love you, Izzy. Mazel tov.
Hey, stay on, because it's your song now.
Yeah, stay on.
Where's Maud? Okay, the full screen.
Mazel tov, Izzy. We love you.
Are you ready, guys?
I just wanted to say, while keeping it real over here, that it really actually kind of sucks. We're all in separate countries, but we love you so much. We're so proud of you. We're with you in spirit, in our heart, in our souls. We really, really, really love you, and we're so proud of you. Everyone ready? In spirit, in our heart, in our souls.
Right in the star.
Ayan, okay mo kasi magsara. יאללה, כולם לעמוד. We love you, Issy.
Thank you. Thank you. We love you guys so much. So I'm just going to leave you with one last video and a good dance from Ariella. And I just want to say, and I think we all want to say, thank you so much for being with us because you made us really happy. And we hope we made you happy too. And We know this is a hard moment for everyone, but at least we had this time together. Izzy is bar mitzvah, and he's bar mitzvah, regardless of what's going on. And we're very, very proud of him. And we're very, very thankful for this day. So thank you so much for being with us, and take a look at this amazing video that Izzy made with his violin teacher, Ariella. Last. No.
Yeah, I'm connected. I'm filming.
Yeah, wait, this is not.
Oops. Sorry, am I supposed to be on? Hi, everybody.
Take it away.
Yay, Issy! I love that video. Every time I watch it, it makes me so proud. All right, the last song. Let's start a little
No, that's fast.
Yofa, Mashiach will come touch your hand, say thank you, smile, get him up, put him up, leave him up, ha ha. Yeah, pump up the volume every day, stand in place, heart racing, no words to say, pressure building, trying to hold my face, mind drifting like not today. Wake up from everything, break out your ship and scream, ha, ship, you're the king, ha, ship, you're the king. I said my love, I said my love, I said even love, let all love. I said my love, I said my love, I said even love. I said my love, I said my love, I said even love, let all love. I said my love, I said even love, let all love. I feel the cold. I wanna get up and leave you. Everything's always the same. I wanna get up and leave. Now we're standing here, and the night's so clear, like the shine upon your crown. Yeah, we're up so high in the midnight sky, and we never come back down. Hashem, Malach, our Father, King David's rock your honor. We are like the stronger, we claim you drop the blessing, success, Hatzlacha. The world ensures you offer it to whomever couch. I said my love, I said my love, I said even Lord, let all love. I said my love, I said even Lord, let all love. I said my love, I said my love, I said even Lord, let all love. I said my love, I said even Lord, let all love.
Mazal tov, Issy! Woo!
Thank you for being with us.
Mazal tov, mazal tov!
They can hear you.
They can hear us. Thank you for being with us. Good night, everybody.
Thank
I
you.
hope it's a happy Pesach Kasher v'Sameach.
Thank you very
Lots
much.
of love. Just film the cake. Yeah. Ella made a cake, so she wants it to be seen. Where is it? Oh, there.
Yeah.
It was the cake. Five's here. What's here? You can see us because Bent is feeling. Ella.
You see?
Quick, just like them.
Can you see it?
Now we need to contact it. Yes, yes. Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Izzy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you to all who have joined this whatever I said
Fabulous
before.
party.
I would like also to give another special thanks, if he's here, to my again More of Magic, Aaron Yaakov.
Woo! Good night, Aaron Yaakov. Bye, everyone. Good night. Bye.
Bye, good night.